Who will step up in the second half?
Drake Jackson, rookie Drake. Why do I say his name wrong? Like I get like tongue.
Jake Draxon. Jake Draxon.
I'm saying Dwayne Jack. Why can't I say?
It's a tough one. No, his name is now Jake. It's Jake Draxon. That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. J-R-A-K. I'm gonna lean with him. I'm gonna lean with him because I see. This is kind of what I was kind of hedging my bets on in terms of how he was going to look like. I really thought that once he got the first half of the season, he's like, got my stripes on. I think he already has like 2 or 3 sacks. He might have 3 sacks. So it's pretty solid. I thought he was going to have like 5 or 6 this year. I think he can start to turn it up. And I think this first game against the Chargers, that's going to be his Kickstarter right there. You're going to start to see it in clutch moments against the Chargers. And you're going to see it down the stretch where it's like, now I'm starting to get it. Caceres got his hands on him more to get him developed. And I think that's where it's really going to show him start being a real key contributor to the defense.
You took my answer. I was going to say Jake Draxon as well. Jake Draxon is no. I think he could be like the ardent key of this team. The stats show that his like pass rush win rate is very high. It's like 10%. It's higher than the other rookie edge rushers or a lot of the ones that went ahead of him. And it seems like now that he's got a couple months under his belt, he really could be a difference maker down the stretch. Also, Samson Ebukam, he had like a Achilles injury the last month, had a couple weeks off. Maybe he'll be able to have the impact that he had the first few games of the season when he had like 3.5 sacks in the first 5 games. But I'm not going to say I'm not going to say Diamador Lenore. I'm not going to say that.
Bold. But you know what? He's been playing fine for the most part until the outside, so can we really, unless you think he's going to step up in the outside.
Yeah. Who else? Elijah Mitchell?
Samuel. Because he's been putrid in the first half.
Debo's going to step up? Okay, what about like Azeez Al-Shaair? Brock Purdy? No, I'm just kidding.
Coming back, Brock Purdy. Yeah, right. You're playing Brock Purdy. It's all, you guys are dead.
You guys.
No, you know what? Why not Debo Samuel? Because he has Christian McCaffrey now to take off the heat. Now defense is going to have to adjust for two primetime explosive players. He hasn't really done anything outside of that magnificent run in Seattle and against the Rams.
Yeah, those 2 plays. He hasn't really done much this year. Those were really nice plays.
All.
Yeah, so if he could step up, that would be great. Mike McGlinchey, man, that would be something else. Although I just don't expect, because to me, what it looks like with Mike McGlinchey is whatever that serious injury was last year took a toll, and it looks like he's still hurt. Right? Doesn't it look like he's constantly limping between plays? He's like limping back to the huddle.
I'm not that much of an eagle eye like you.
I don't know. It just looks like he's in pain, and maybe that's just how he walks. But if he's trying to, he's in a lame duck year. He's going to be a free agent next year. He's trying to battle it.
Bad.
Yeah. So look, I don't really expect him to step up, but maybe they get someone like Jalen Moore who just takes the job and steps up, or Colton McKivitz. Yeah. Maybe Colton McKivitz is the surprise guy, because last year I think
I would do that.
Like an unheralded participant in that that run down the stretch was Tom Compton. He wasn't great, but he was a good run blocker. He held his own, and he was a part of a winning team, even though everyone thought he was weak. And then he got a big contract from Denver, which I don't know if he is doing well. But anyway, I don't know. I think Colton McKivitz could be that guy. Also, we got someone saying Ambry. Don't hold your breath. Ambry. Although,
yeah, Ambry. I feel bad. I don't feel bad. I feel like an idiot because I really had faith in Ambry when the Niners drafted him. I was like, he's actually a very solid corner. They can. It's like, you know what? No, he's not. He's not that solid of a corner. He didn't improve at all from last year to this year.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't have an opinion. He's young. He may be better than what it seems like the Niners don't like him, and it's funny. Here's what I do as a beat writer. You ask a coach, D'Amico, Kyle, hey, how's Ambry Thomas doing? And they'll never say anything negative on the record, right? But it'll be like degrees of praise. So you'll ask about Ambry, and they'll be like, he's doing fine. He's working. And to answer, and you're like, that's an F. Then you ask about like, hey, how's Diamador Lenore doing? Just to sort of compare answers, and they'll be like, oh, he does everything right, and he's such a hard worker, and it's like, oh, okay, so that's what you say for someone you kind of like, who's like okay, right? I mean, not even a great player, and the best you can say for Ambry Thomas is he's doing fine. Not a ringing endorsement.
it's definitely like a scale situation. It's like whatever words you say, like okay, like Embry Thomas, the scale's still barely, it's moving a little bit, okay, but that's probably not good.
No.
Diamondor are sinking, like oh god, okay, you really like him, like all season long about Talanoa, especially from D'Amico's end. D'Amico, I think, is the easiest one to tell who he likes and who he's really like giving up praise to. You know.
I mean, most coaches will say the nicest things they can about a player.
I just think D'Amico goes more in depth about it. Like, you know, you like, and he's not really too many ums or uhs or just like, you know, BSing you. Like, I feel like I could take him more towards face value. Not saying 100% because there's always a grain of salt with these coaches, but I think like Mike McDaniel sense. I think something about the coordinators that they have no problem being honest because, you know, they're interviewing essentially in a way.
Yeah. And again, I think coaches want to praise players. They want to look like they're being transparent. And if you give a guy a softball question like, hey, what do you see from Christian McCaffrey? The coach will go on and on and on about what a great player he is. But if you say it about a player who's the worst player on the team, I mean, they're not going to trash him, but they're not going to lie either. So they'll just kind of like get that awkward look on their face like someone just farted and they're like, he's all right. He's okay. Don't put me on the spot. What's up, my boy?